within this year ending inequality is key to ending AIDS in Sierra Leone. Very, very well for we at the Ministry of Health and Sanitation that we're grateful to we clients them and we hospitals and organizations that we support for the way to bring out we HIV clients them across the country.
Waiting na discrimination. Now when people word this, when plenty tell we not able for interpreter, we not able for understander. And so people get their own way how they look at discrimination. But me he always say discrimination now that thing when you dey do to somebody, when you dey pull and promote because of certain condition when you feel say that person they get. That's a set of women the way they suffer double discrimination. And that set of women and they now people where they live with disability. In fact, they are already discriminated because they live with disability. And then they discriminate them because they're not women then. So then people they are, that set of people they are, then they suffer double discrimination, not a single discrimination, then they suffer because then are women they no, they're all.
I stand in front of you to deliver a speech on behalf of the international partners, and I bring you greetings from Southeast in Freetown. As the National AIDS Secretariat and its partners join the world to commemorate Zero Discrimination Day, we aim to raise awareness on the rights of girls and women, especially those infected and affected by HIV in Sierra Leone. Additionally, we also aim to also raise awareness on the rights and of other vulnerable populations, including the populations.
We get female sex workers, we get people who inject drugs, we get men who have sex with men. We also can think of people living with HIV. And now we don't join another group day when our people in closed settings, rather than are the prisoners. All the population here, we call them key populations because they get that disadvantage there of being at high risk for being infected with HIV. If we let them be at the end, due to discrimination and stigmatization, then we all don't fail in the duty.
I talk about, I mean, you don't like to don't know them, but guess what? You hear a play say that you might like it, allow you, don't get confident of me money, because she is actually a lot of crunches. We don't get a buy with you money, where we possible money. Yeah, the EU don't get buy with you so much money. All that discrimination, I get me focused. I get everything was the same person supposed to be my market. The same person come out of the shop. The same person for bed, buy the land, put up. So we don't like that. Why would man, where we put a machine, but a market right, I give you money. We go to the government right now. You go, the one that jail person, get that thing in there. We did it. We make sure, and somebody make the grass, we brought that. Yeah, the Mombras, not so much, the Mombras do a lot of things also.
I want them to say, either you go to school or you go to school, you know, you get like. Either in a sex worker, you go sex worker, you know, you get like. And when I think I say, we the also like, we the like, when I see papers, we have like, you want to stick with your mind to give $50 for your cheapness. You the give you net and not if we use condom for cool sickness go come up here week. Example the HIV. HIV na sicko. Now you go and make like bread na here. Me forget HIV and relief pass. Take me drug, get me condom and sex and gen life.
Today is Zero Discrimination Day. In 2014, UNAIDS came together with a former ambassador of the Philippines, and then they decided that we should launch the Zero Discrimination Day in Australia. Now, you ask yourself, why did we have to create this specific day to celebrate zero discrimination? Remember, we are saying zero because we want to get to zero. We don't want anybody to be discriminated against. So the importance of the Zero Discrimination Day is that we would use Zero Discrimination Day to safeguard the rights of all people, so that through sound economic policies, social and health and political policies, the rights of every person will be guaranteed, irrespective of the ability or disability, irrespective of human rights in terms of whether the person's religion, sexual orientation, it doesn't matter. We are all equal in the eyes of God, and we have to treat each other equal and with respect. But what has worsened now is that we know, like the FSU man talked about, there are different forms of discrimination, and all of us in our life have suffered one discrimination or the other before. For some people, like our brothers and sisters who have disability, they live with it. For our brothers and sisters who have HIV, they live with it. But all of us have suffered one form of discrimination or another. You have walked into a class when you were a student, when your teacher said something bad about you, and everybody was laughing at you. We get stigmatized because of where we come from. You get to a group, because you are from a particular tribe, like he said, people look down on you. So we have all suffered some form of discrimination in the past. But what we know is that COVID has made the discrimination and inequality even worse. We do know that as we speak currently, you see the rich countries are getting all the vaccines. And for poor countries like Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria, and other countries in the sub-region, we are not getting the vaccines. As we speak, only 10 countries have 75% of all the vaccines for COVID that has been developed.
For this day, we want to bring the idea of people then, we talk about zero discrimination, because zero discrimination, it not they help the nation for good before, it not they help we all for good before. We see the statistics where people that don't give in this country, the school completion rate amongst boys and girls, gender assessment document, we don't carry out gender assessment in this country. Also, they talk about, they point about the vulnerability of women in this country, that women are much more vulnerable. So what can we do is to raise awareness about this particular day and to see, we bring more people then, let them understand about this day, so that we can stop the discrimination between women and men. We will stop the discrimination against people living with disabilities. We will stop the discrimination against women that are much more vulnerable, whether they sell them body for money, what would they call about sex workers, and also people where because of all that they involved into certain things, and the way they do drugs. So we want to really bring everybody on board so that we raise awareness so that we'll be able to push the zero discrimination.